So welcome to our new College of Business, 100% donor funded. Features these grand stairs. They wanted it to represent almost like its own little sculpture.
Even under construction, there's a wow factor when you walk into the new College of Business Administration building. From lots of windows to the design of classrooms.
This is a case style. It's modeled after the Harvard Business School and their classrooms, where it's tiered with long tables.
Along with views of the state capitol and Memorial Stadium.
It is the center of campus. And so we wanted to be the first Big Ten building built on this campus, and we wanted it to be a focal point. And then it's a perfect bookend to the stadium across Memorial Mall.
It's easy to see why the university's so excited for the 240,000 square foot, $84 million building to open.
This is a building funded by alumni for future alumni.
And what some say is the best feature you don't see right away.
They like to be able to isolate that so it just doesn't become a traffic zone and it becomes a destination. And so I think there's this element of intrigue and surprise that happens when you get to the atrium, because you know there's just something up there, you see the stairs that lead you there, but you really can't understand kind of the volume until you get there.
The college now has more than 4,000 undergraduate and graduate students pursuing a major, plus an additional 1,000 students getting minors. Assistant Dean Rick Barrera attributes part of that success to the university now being in the Big Ten.
We now are getting recruits out of other Big Ten footprints that wouldn't give us the time of day before, quite frankly. We're hiring really top-notch faculty that are impressed and want to come here, partly because of the building, partly because of the programs, but partly also because it's a Big Ten business school.
By the time winter hits, this opening will have doors, and then in just 9 short months, faculty and staff will be moving into the new building, ready for students in August of 2017.
But the project manager and superintendent know there's still a lot of work to get done between now and then.
Now our overall goal is to get all the drywall on the walls by the end of the year, so that'll be the bulk. So we're really transforming right now from a rough framing and you know, the start of rough ends and moving into the drywall phase, which is going to really transform us from the rough to kind of the finished stages.
I look forward to seeing all the finishes going in, see how that all plays together with the design, colors and finishes, and then coordinating that with the interiors that we have coming into the building too. It's going to be exciting seeing everything come together.
It's been going on for so long.
Last night's meth bust at this house isn't surprising to Nick Fowler. He lives across the street and says it was obvious something was going on.
Different people coming in and knocking on the door. Different knocks too, little special knocks. They're in there at least 2 minutes, 3 minutes, and they're out.
An arrest is a relief to parents who live on the street, but also a reminder that they have to keep a close eye on their kids.
Our little ones play around. There's a bunch of kids around here, so it's kind of hard to not be able to let them go where they want to go, because you gotta worry about the houses.
Police say they've been investigating this house for a long time. In fact, it was broken into in September.
And the guys back then claimed they were trying to get drugs out of the house because they bought drugs there before, so they thought there'd be drugs in the house.
Chief Bachman says since then, they've been working together enough evidence for a search warrant of the house.
Of course, you know, everybody else told us it wasn't a drug house, and we were wrong in our assumptions on that, but I think we came full circle yesterday and put that case together. She's got a lot of things to answer for, and they found methamphetamine, and she had a weapon in the house, and she's got a lot of problems legally.
In Manistee, Lindsay McComo, 9 and 10 News at 6.
90% of people that I see that have troubles with winter, a simple walk around would have cured a lot of that.
Easy fixes are one thing, but they don't stop the cold from causing car trouble. Car shops like Ken's Tire and Auto in Roscommon are seeing their garage fill up.
A lot of things I see are shimmying in the front end because snow packs up in the wheels and the front end starts shaking. They come in here thinking they got a balance issue, but it's really snow and ice packed up in their wheels. I see a lot of that.
The cold can also impact tire pressure.
Instead of having 32 pounds of air, you have 29, and it will set off the light, and you think you have a low tire, but you really don't.
Now, cold temperatures do a lot more than just impact tire pressure. They impact a lot of the underside of the car, too. As you can see by some of the slush that comes off of the car itself that can freeze, damage part of the tire. Never a good thing.
You should wash your car at least once a week and make sure it has an underbody wash to spray underneath to get all the chemicals and salt and stuff off.
Problems that can be avoided simply, he says. A good way to start? Warm up your car early.
Your oil needs so much time to warm up to get up to the top of the heads. Your coolant needs time to circulate. It's really bad to start your car and go.
Awareness is what all of this is about, and these events help bring awareness to our community and to other people.
The MLK Day of Service on Central's campus directly gives back to the Mount Pleasant area. From writing letters to veterans, making signs for a peace march, and making blankets, each activity honors the civil rights trailblazer.
We have about 8 service projects. This is a great way to learn about different things that are happening in the community, and a great way to give back to what MLK stood for, and being able to show that passion and justice just like he had.
Today wasn't just for college students. These 2 girls had a snow day, so their mom brought them to campus to take part. They enjoyed making blankets for foster kids.
I love making them because we made them at school one time. Yes, and it's very awesome to give them to somebody else and help them.
A day to give back and reflect on everything Martin Luther King Jr. accomplished during his life.
Martin Luther King Jr., he fought and died for these type of things, so the least we can do is go out and sacrifice our time to do things for others and volunteer and just make the world better.
We do the whole thing almost every day. She loves to be outside and walk, so I take advantage of them every chance I get.
They might be covered in snow this time of year, but the TART trails are still popular for people around Traverse City and their four-legged friends.
I enjoy the trails because I live downtown. And so I come over here and walk the trails with the dog because the dog needs exercise.
A lot goes into keeping them accessible. In total, they spend $35,000 on winter cleanup.
But the government partners have taken on a lot of the ownership to keep the trails open and operational.
TART Trails teams up with the county, city, and the townships the trails go through to make it a little easier to keep up with the snow. In all, they clear close to 13 miles of trails during the winter.
Anytime there's 2 inches of accumulation or more, they're out there hitting the trail with their trucks and blades.
It's a lot of work to keep them clear, but it's worth it.
It's hard to get stressed when you see this fantastic snow because we know we only have it for a little while.
They're just a very beautiful, peaceful walk. Get you into nature while you're still very close to town.
In Grand Traverse County, Lindsay McComo, Fox 32 News at 7.
I've seen a few this summer. Actually, quite bad ones. Cars always have to wait.
It's not rare to find an intersection filled with cars like this in Grand Traverse County. While already dicey to navigate, winter only makes them worse.
There was a 3-car pileup right over there. They had all but 2 lanes blocked off, 3 ambulances, and lots of cops.
Haley is one of the many people who experience the intersection daily. She's been walking through it to work since February.
I've almost been hit a few times because people just drive straight down the turn lane and don't even look.
Now this particular intersection on US 31 on South Airport in Traverse City, it's the 3rd on the list out of 20 of the most dangerous. As you can see by the traffic behind me, you can kind of see why.
What the biggest problem is when people freak out. They jerk the wheel, they slam on the accelerator or slam on the brake. That makes the problems even worse.
It's lists like these that remind police that drivers also need reminders.
You got to practice defensive driving, so maintain your distance between the people in front and behind you. Be aware of what they're doing and make sure you give yourself enough time to stop.
A warning for walkers like Haley to be aware.
Keep in mind where the lines are. Keep your eyes open.